Good afternoon and welcome back to another ironic introduction to another video. Today I have Season 20 Wars 2 and 3. I've put them together because separately they were kind of short and it's just easier for me to combine when it's like that. So this first fight here is Path to Heimdall on Strike Counter Fury. So it's not a crazy fight. I like to do 4 light hits, I like to do 3 mediums, and I like to do 1 heavy, so I don't have to worry about him accruing Furies. This fight worked out perfectly for me, where I got a really big degen on. He just melts with Omega Red. The reason I'm on Path 2 this season is because I rank 3 to my Omega Red, and he is a really good counter for that Mixmaster Korg, as well as other Korgs that appear, or like the Rage Nick Fury that commonly appears. So being one of the people who have that, you know, they put me on a path where I could bring Omega Red without running into constant problems. So there I did my medium 4-hit combo, then my double medium. She's not playing super aggressive, which is really unfortunate, so I don't get a lot of spores on. And as I continue the stall out phase, she's still like over half. I dodged back thinking that she was going for a heavy, and it's just my fault for misreading the animation. She went for a special 1, so I do take a good amount of chip damage, and now she's generating Furies. At this point, I decided to switch to more of an aggressive playstyle. I don't know what happened there. I was trying to dex the last part of the special 1, and I ended up taking it to the face instead. Just kind of poor play on my part. Maybe it was sticky fingers. So I do throw a special 1 here to heal up a little bit. At this point, I don't want her to throw the special 1 again before I can get my degen on. I'm just trying to get her down so I don't end up dying to block damage. Get her up to the 10 spores. Slow combo my way up to a special 1, and that is going to finish the fight. Not a great run with Captain Marvel movie there. Honestly, just kind of a really poor start to the fight. I think in the future I'll probably do like a parry start and then do my combos, like a parry. To try to like secure an aggressive AI, but it's really strange. She just played really passive, and that's just super unfortunate. Here I kind of got caught in the middle of something, so I had to pause the fight halfway through, and then I'm going to continue. I'm not really concerned about him gaining Furies or anything. I go for an aggressive special 2 intercept and then get punished for it. Just a big rip on my part, but he's not like a stubborn defender or anything. It's not too bad of a fight. It's really nothing crazy. This is just, this is a strike counter combat power, so it just affects like my power gain. It's an easy fight from there. Besides the like damage I took that was unnecessary, it's not a big deal. At this point, we are losing this war, and it's like pretty sure we're gonna lose. So I decide to opt and move into this Darkhawk, see if I can just knock him out, clear the fight, so we can work on clearing the map. My ghost isn't like perfectly healthy, and this isn't like an ideal matchup, so I am going to heal up a little bit, but not like crazy amounts, and I'm not going to boost or anything, because again, we lose this war. Like, spoiler alert, we were, I think, down like 20 kills or something at this point, so it was pretty clear that we weren't going to come back. So I'm just trying to clear. Now the issue with Darkhawk is, one, he plays crazy passive at the start. It's like the worst setup. But the second one is he is a stubborn defender. So every time I get that missed hit, he does go indestructible. So I need to time all my attacks around that. Here, I'm getting my heavy attack in, triggering the shield, and then I'm going to get my second one in, and I trigger the Fury, and he gets the buffet. I totally forgot about buffet and the big-ass heal, so he gets a lot of his health back there. I need to be mindful. At this point, I'm trying to find an opening to get a special 2 intercept off, so I'm going to do the full run technique, do a slow stall, and then a special 2 intercept. I do get a lot of really good damage off because of it, but at this point, I totally forget about the auto block and get parried. Not my best show up. I think maybe at that situation I probably should have switched to just like a parry heavy play style, tried to get a Fury or 2 to stick, and then gone for another special 2 intercept. I really shouldn't have been taking that fight in the first place, but like I said, we had already lost, so I was just trying to clear it. I didn't really need Ghost anywhere else. So yeah, not that big of a deal. I am going to heal up a bit for this Korg. Ideally, I would boost up and stuff, but again, pretty sure we lose this war. Actually, like, we know we lose this war. So I'm going to just jump in with Omega Red, try to take this cord down. This stun immune, hazard shift immunity, so ideally I'm going to stall out until he switches to the poison phase. I do a slow combo there. I got completely lucky, no incinerates. At this point, I'm just letting the spores eat at him. I am going to go back in and slow combo, and again, only one incinerate, so that worked really, really well in my favor. Now he's in the poison phase, so I'm going to go for my full 5 hit with no stress. Haven't been able to get a good heavy intercept off. Heavy counter there. I could have heavy countered there, but I wasn't entirely confident, and he's still in the poison phase, so I wanted to focus on getting distance. He throws the special 2 there. I do take a blocked hit intentionally to drop the indestructibility. Too slow to dex. This is just a ridiculously long fight. I do end up heavy countering there and taking an incinerate, but that's okay. I was able to get the placement. He's in the poison phase, so I'm just trying to break the shield. I do block this whole special 1 so that I don't lose or trigger the indestructibility. I want just like the passive damage. And then again here, I'm just too slow to respond to the heavy. This is the second time I take a heavy to the face. So I'm going to opt to throw my special 3 here. I want to get that power drain. I want to get the free damage. And mostly I want to get the heal because I've taken a lot of just chip damage here unnecessarily. So here the power drain is triggering. He has the incinerates up, so I only go for a 2 hit because I don't want to hit him too many times. There I went for the 2 hit, double incinerate, and you're going to see my health just start dropping like a rock. Willpower does really, really help in this scenario, so 2 incinerates isn't that bad, but it is still a good amount of damage. At this point, I have to just full dex a special 2 and bait it. He's just being really, really weird. Just heavy, 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 heavy. Can't explain it. War AI, right? So here, I'm still in incinerate phase, so I went for a double heavy or a double medium, and then I ended up taking a combo to the face. Don't really know what happened there. Maybe I was just slow to hit the block. He's in poison phase, so I'm going back in. I'm just trying to kill like 10 spores on him so I can drop my special 3, and instead, like, he throws his special 2. I don't get the heavy intercept, and I end up dying. I'm not gonna lie, it's a really, really rough fight for me, but it is what it is. This next one is just a quick crystal, I guess. Cavalier crystal. I did select a Claire crystal. I guess I accidentally added this in here, so whoops. We're gonna just fast forward a little bit to the opening. I pop it open. Hopefully those of you out there got something lucky, but well, I did not. I really, really think this should have been a login crystal, at least like an ultimate and a legendary crystal or something. It would have been easier to hype. Just like featured calves is really lame. I don't know if that was a ball drop or intentional or what have you, but Cavalier crystals are not a good special gift to receive in my opinion, but there's always going to be people out there hitting the jackpot, so that is a huge factor as well. I get a 3-star Dormammu. Not super psyched. So this is war number 3. I have Squirrel Girl on the first node here. I'm going to jump in with Omega Red. I have Magic slotted because it is stubborn and there is a Doom final boss. And Magic is like the best option I have in order to get that one shot. So jump in on the Squirrel Girl, and again, last war I learned that I want to go for a parry start to see if I can't get like an aggressive double parry to start. It didn't happen here, but then I go in for my regular rotation, and it does give me a lot more time to just kind of figure out how I want to take the fight. And here I switch to an aggressive playstyle when she has all the spores on, and she just deletes. I think this is the method I'm going to do. It gives me a little more time with the death field active. It gives me a potential for an aggressive AI, allowing you to stack more spores initially. And overall, it's just, I think, a really useful option. Because the worst thing is jumping in, getting a parry start, and then getting a defensive AI and losing all your spores and just being totally effed. So that's my approach. This next fight is Dormammu. Again, Strike Fury, or this is the combat power one, Fury counter or Strike counter or whatever. It's, the node name doesn't matter. I don't read it enough. I apologize. Just having a bleh moment. So I go for an aggressive heavy start here just to lock in my spores because it's Dormammu. Normally I go for a lot more hits, but I want him to go down as fast as possible. I went for a super greedy heavy there, and it paid off in my favor. I'm able to get a special 1 in to end the fight, and that worked really, really well. I don't know if I'm always going to be that greedy, but Dormammu doesn't hit super hard. He didn't have a special to chain into or anything there, so I did go full greed. Later on, the next day, this Mojo is up for the taking, and I don't have like the best option here, but we're getting pretty late in war, and this war is secured. We're winning by like 40 kills or something at this point. So I'm just like, F it, I'm going to jump in, see how I do against Mojo, just do it for giggles. Omega Red won't do too bad. It's really, really nice jumping in and seeing both of those damage over time effects on him, because that means he's just going to delete himself. I'm playing relatively aggressive, go for a greedy heavy and get punished for it. That's my fault, I was just really, really slow on the uptake. I'm not at all concerned about the combat power reduction, so I am going to go full greed into a combo here. I'm going to throw my special one. I actually thought this would end the fight, and it did not. Puts me in a weird spot. It's at 3%, so I do finish. It would have really sucked if I had pushed into a special 3 there. Just kind of misjudged the damage output on my part. But that's okay. It worked out okay. No harm, no foul. This next fight is going to be Nick Fury. Now, this Nick Fury has rage, and can be kind of a frustrating fight if it gets out from under you. So I'm going to go for a lot of low hits. I'm going to be going, you know, I don't want to build up any stacks. I want to push him to a special 2 as often as possible. But mostly I want my degeneration, I want my death field, and I want my spores to take him down. Otherwise, it's a lot of waiting. So here I go for a parry start into a forced block. This is going to allow me to build up my spores on him without worrying about triggering Fury. I do get a really good parry degen, and here now I'm just going to keep on parrying in the corner, letting the spores do all the work. Now I'm going to reset the degen again and do the same. And this is honestly how I would handle the Nick Fury. I think it's the best way. You just force hold block so he doesn't throw a special. There I accidentally baited it. And you just let your spores tick away. So he's at 17%. He's not playing aggressive. So at this point, I'm just trying to get a cheeky heavy in for some free damage. Lock the spores in so I can get him down to his life model decoy. And dust. I thought for sure that heavy would have replaced the degen. It just like barely hit him before he hit the 1%. So that was unfortunate. So I do have to like completely set up. Not a big deal. I am going to throw my special 2 here to push him into a special 2. Hit into his block to let the passive damage do some work. Here I only go for 1 hit out of greed, because at this point I need him to throw a special 2. I shouldn't have taken that initial hit. The block damage hurt way more than I thought it would, so I ended up dexing the second part. I did take a block to drop the invulnerability. I'm going to get a cheeky heavy in to lock the spores in. He's at 14%, so he's kind of low. I'm going to strike counter, so he did end his combo there with a medium. And then I'm going to heavy counter here. Fight is over. I actually was spamming special 2, trying to let that finish it, but he threw his instead. That's okay, he's easy to punish, and the fight is over. This next fight is a hazard shift immune thing. Now, I personally think Omega Red can do this fight if you know how to heavy counter. I don't particularly know how to do that versus this thing. I was ideally going to go in here boosted, but again, we had the war secured, so I'm not even going to full heal. I'm just trying to get as much of his health off as possible for as cheaply as possible. I'm going to be honest, and I think I did okay, having never done this fight before. So the issue is against this fight is that thing for some reason throws this heavy a ton. I got lucky there, only 1 incinerate, but I am going to reparry, and he's going to go into a heavy, and I'm already up against the wall. I'm dexing on the wall. I don't dex that heavy properly, so now I'm going to hit into his block and try to find an opening. I do strike counter because he does end on a medium there, which is a really good opening for me. Unblockable means I get an actual combo to the face. I'm going to punch him 1 more time to get him to the 15 spores, and now I need to properly dex a special 2. It was greedy of me to dash in there with the medium. If I had gone unblockable, that would have sucked, but I got a nice heavy counter here. Now I just need to take a blocked hit to let him degen back up. He triggers protection. I'm going to re-drop my heavy. I thought I had timed it to reset the degen. Unfortunately, I did not. He's low enough rock shield stacks that I'm going to throw my special 2 for some aura damage and punch into his block. At this point now, I know I need a beta special because he is at 15 stacks, and I don't want to aggressively, like, accidentally get an unblockable hit. So we're just going to back off, throws his special 1, and I'm all the way back at my corner again. I throw my heavy and 2 incinerates. That was just bad luck. I do take a blocked hit here. I'm just trying to find a good opening. Unfortunately, I dex the last part of that heavy, so this combo does no damage. And here, I needed to take a blocked hit, I think, and I didn't. Instead, I go to place the heavy. He throws his special one again, and I take it to the face. I think the hardest part of that fight in general is like when it gets out from under you, it's just really, really rough. I do think I need my Omega Red probably a good 86 higher for me to be more confident in taking that fight. And I'm just not ready to commit yet, at least. So for now, I'll leave it as is. Ideally, I think Havoc is honestly a really, really good option there, just because he can get around, you know, the protection and the hazard shift incinerate portion. I'm going to jump into this Doom. He's down 50%. He's playing crazy passive because the brute force link is still up. Unfortunately, we did have this war 1, so we're not like using a ton of items, but there's like 30 minutes left on this war, so I'm just trying to get this Doom down. The block damage is insane. I am going to block out properly. I need to take a blocked hit to drop the indestructibility, and now I'm finally in the special 2 rotation, so he's out of power. I get a good intercept here. That was really, really greedy, but it worked out to my advantage. But this is where the like crazy defensive dude shows up. Block damage has been chipping away at me, and he just plays crazy, like crazy passive. It's like the 3rd or 4th time I've tried to like backdraft intercept or intercept, and he's just holding block in the corner. Here I accidentally trigger stubborn. I went for a greedy hit in there, and then I went in for a greedy intercept, and I take a parry. It's just rough. It's just rough. I wasn't sure, but I got confirmation that apparently when you leave links up on the Alliance War bosses, they play crazy defensive. So it was really, really unfortunate. I don't feel like I got an actual run-in with Magic there or any kind of actual practice because he was just playing insanely defensive. So I didn't get any of the backdraft intercepting or the corner play that is like you know, thematic to Magic, but still, we did end up getting Doom down. We did end up winning this war. Not that bad. 3 wars in, we're 2-1, or 1-2 rather. 1 win, 2 losses. So we'll see how the rest of them go. That said, as always, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.